in this,
Sorry. What were you saying?
you worked in this area,
Yeah.
and then back into here where the pec connects in. So, and then down into the elbow. So I got a couple of little bruises. We'll see what happens. For the past hour, I was watching. I happened to flip over to YouTube trying to get one of the football games, and they had the Nationals on streaming from 24 or 25.
Okay.
I got to see Cameron do all of his lifts and Carlos
Hell yeah.
and a bunch of other people.
It was entertaining, huh?
Well, it was it was an eye opener because there are a lot of failures.
Like
You know,
attempt wise?
yeah, when when
Yeah.
you when you fail on your own, you think you're out there by yourself.
Yeah.
These guys, some guys failed really big. A couple of guys failed on the squat to where they were going over backwards. They had to bring in extra people to lift them.
Yeah.
Um, and then one guy on a deadlift got it about 6 inches off the floor, and something happened to his CSN, and he just fell over backwards on the pad. And he was young; he was
Yeah.
like a junior, yeah.
Um,
But
have you done?
Carlos looks the same as he does. He never changes,
Yeah.
except that he missed that one lift at
That nationals?
600. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
645 pounds. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And I noticed that with both him and Claudia, like at nationals, Claudia was her final attempt. I don't remember what it was. I think it was like um maybe 150, 155. But I mean, it was so slow moving up, but there was no shaking, um there was no visible like arch in the back. It was all just like a grind. And I saw her just she just set a PR the other day, I think, too. I don't know if you were watching her,
I
but
did.
that was cool too. I think she hit like maybe 160 or something like that. But yeah, it's gonna go nuts when she goes to Worlds. She's
Now, Carlos, on the other hand, his lifts are fast,
yeah,
except when he got up to right at the end there. And I'll tell you, he pulled that thing just as far as you could pull it, but he realized that there was no way he was going to get his shoulders back
yeah,
because that's. I mean, he had no momentum left. It was just,
right.
So he just threw it down.
Oh, just got a text.
Yeah, walked off the stage, then came back and then shook hands with the judges,
Yeah,
and
I
that
just
was
got
just
a
that was
special
just
text, Richard.
huh?
I just got a special text from our very good friend
Saying,
logging on now.
oh,
He decided to grace us. You were talking about MFR, myofascial release. Is this something new for you? Is this a novel thing that Stephanie does?
what? My fashion? No, she
Yeah.
does it. She's been using it, but she uses it mostly um, on my quads and on my scaps. Um, she never really got into the arm like this,
Yeah.
so this was a new one. Yeah, but she knows that. She's thinking seriously now of picking up her PT designation.
Yeah.
I mean, not going for a doctorate, but
Does she have much left?
huh?
Does she have much left to get PT?
I don't know, but
Okay.
she's awfully skilled at what she does.
'Cause she'll have to go to PT school. I would know.
Hmm?
I would know. You'd have to go to PT school.
Yeah, you go to school. She knows
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's not like going back to medical school or anything. It's a
Yeah.
little different. Yeah,
Right.
but she's right now. I can tell you from when I tell her something, I mean, she's as qualified as any physical therapist, probably more so than most of them that I've been around. She, yeah, and prior to that, we went into the stretch thing and I told her what was going on back here and the tightness of my scaps. And she had me bent in a bunch of positions. And she's the only human being I'll let overstretch me
Yeah.
and trust her not to break something. I mean, she had this arm out here and up and back and around and just kept.
I mean, that's what got you under the bar in the first place. Because this was so like you couldn't even get your head underneath. You couldn't get your hands on and your head underneath when you started, if I remember correctly.
I think when we get through with this, we'll get qualified for nationals. How do you like that about Corpus Christi? Is that like
That's what
golden?
have you done?
I mean, you got
Are you paying somebody?
50 states it could have gone to. Bam.
And not only that, it's all in this the South. Like it's all drivable from Houston. It's not like it's in like El Paso or like Laredo or I'm sorry, or Amarillo or anything like
Oh
that.
no, it's 3 hours.
It's
It's
the coast.
a little bit around the coast, that's all.
Yeah, it's literally just the coast again.
And
So,
uh and last year it was in Las Vegas, which is expensive. You got to go there and you're there for 3 or 4 days and
yeah.
you're in a hotel and you're walking through all the gambling and all the smoke. And they've done it in Las Vegas for a couple of years. So this was like a big move. Texas. I'm glad I moved to Texas.
Yep. It's all coming together now. The grand plan.
I wanna I want to talk to you about what we do in this coming week. I mean, when I
Yeah.
look at the chart, they're telling me to do, first of all, they're saying no deadlifts whatsoever.
Yeah.
And then they're saying light squats, light bench,
Yeah.
um, like at 50% for 1 or 2 reps
Yep.
kind of thing. Um,
Did you see
you
what I put
know,
down for you?
I haven't seen what you put down, but I'm sure it's close to that.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, it's nothing that's gonna I want to keep the motion there and
On,
firing.
on the deadlift, I think so too. I think that we ought to do light deadlifts.
Yeah,
Like one red plate kind of thing. Just so that there's enough weight to be there, and then get that motion really down pat. Yeah.
sure.
So without hitting the CNS too much.
Well, yeah, you'll be fine. You'll be recovered well enough.
We'll see. My nerves are like on fire right now.
Yeah.
It's 6 days away.
Are you off antibiotics now?
Oh, I took myself off. Yeah, totally.
You're so funny. For the doctor's orders?
No.
Okay. uh
Yeah,
well,
but I don't want anything that's going to make me dizzy underneath the bar like
yeah,
that. That was scary. I mean, I literally, when I took the bar off the rack, felt like I was going to fall over.
yeah.
And
That
that's
was weird.
probably why I didn't get depth on the 65 before. Was it 65 I did before that? Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. It was 65 to, and then 70 was the one that you were doing. But you
Yeah.
hit the 70 and we wanted to retry it for depth.
No, no, no. I hit the 65 and
But you
then
hit the 70 too.
instead of going
Oh,
back to 65, you went up.
hold on. I think I got something special. Is he coming?
I don't see. Oh, there
Oh,
it is.
I
No,
think
that's you.
we got a live one.
I see you. There's Randy without a picture.
We got to earn his
Randy, turn your
visual
camera on.
presence.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes. Welcome.
Let me get this camera up and running. Hold on 1 second. Why is this not working?
That's what happens to all the computer geniuses. They can't get the camera
Yeah, 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 yeah.
working.
This
He's working the
audio.
executive level computer. It's got a lot
Yeah,
more
yeah.
buttons.
I have an admin who does this for me. I don't. No, no, no. What is going on? I just used this thing. All right, give me a second. Let me restart just the camera.
That's fine. In the meantime, yeah, we'll, obviously keep working at the taper. Are you still feeling any like lingering aches or pains, Richard, or what's the deal with that?
Um, just a little bit of soreness across, my traps and stuff from holding the bar. But
Oh, from Friday?
that's what I was going to say to you. Once I get this qualifying and we're ready to go to nationals, we got 7 months. And in those 7 months, I want to figure out how to bring my arms in closer and still get the bar back
Sure,
so that I get a little better shelf in the back, a little something a little tighter.
sure,
Right now it's just like my arms are so stretched that it's not really compressing the traps to catch that thing. So, but I'll be the only one. I've watched everybody that went on nationals that walked under that bar. They all dove for it. I'll
sure.
be the only one that like
Very
rolls
gingerly,
underneath it. Yeah.
yeah,
But
scrapes
that,
his head on
yeah,
the
but
on the
that's
knurling.
that's that's where I use my 80-year-old thing to get through that.
Yep. Just bat your eyes and see what they'll grant you.
Do you have while my computer, while my camera turns on here, do you have a time frame to get under the bar?
They say roughly a minute from the time that you walk out onto the stage. You got about a minute to prepare, and a minute's a long time.
Yeah.
In the beginning, I thought it was like bing bang boom, but you got plenty of time, and that's not. They don't have it etched in stone. There's not like a timer going off and a red light comes on and they throw you off the stage.
Okay. But if, yeah, I guess if you are intentionally stalling, they're gonna be like, all right, your time's up. But if you are literally just trying to finagle your body under a bar,
That's
I
why
don't
we need to get people in
Yeah.
the audience just like counting down from 60.
Well,
Just
Those
I
like
are just,
got,
six zero
I
five
mean,
nine.
well, the thing that I noticed, and one of the reasons I watched the films is to see what the judges allowed people to get away with. They allowed guys to get under the bar and not quite lift it off and not feel comfortable, step out from under the bar and then go back under it again.
oh
And
wow.
on the deadlift, I watched one guy grip that bar like 2 or 3 times where he pulled the slack out and then he stepped back from the bar and then he walked in and did the lift. And
As
they,
long as it doesn't move from the ground.
as long as it doesn't come off the ground, and as long as it doesn't come off the rack, so it's a
I feel
thing.
like there are so many situations where you're there and Mirna turns her head and something goes wrong, like with the Zerchers. And then she's like, "Oh, what are you doing?"
Who's that?
Mirna,
Oh, Merla. Yeah.
yeah. She was like, "Are you okay?"
Oh well, that was
But
weird though. That
yeah,
was weird on
it was
Friday,
very weird.
Thursday. Yeah, that was.
But yeah, other than that, have you watched any of the weightlifting stuff from these past few days?
Me?
Yeah,
No,
the
I was watching it today.
the Olympic weightlifting stuff.
No,
Okay, we're doing well. America's doing pretty well. Olivia Reeves. Does that name ring a bell to you?
no.
Okay, she just won gold. She's clearing the house. Some of my favorite people
Oh, was
are,
this actually Olympic weightlifting where they're throwing the
yeah.
bar over their head?
Oh
Yeah.
my goodness.
Ah, there he
Who's
is.
that guy?
Aha!
Nice. All right, it
Set a
worked. It
timer.
worked.
It was 15 minutes.
You and my ex-wife Kendall, two computer geniuses, and something always goes wrong.
This was hardware malfunction. My camera, I had to physically what do you call it? Unplug it, for lack of it,
MacGyver it.
and reset it. Anyway, my whole makeup crew is already gone for the day, so
Yep.
let me adjust my background
Yeah,
here.
so
So
there's a Randy I know and love.
there we go. So it's not this one.
Okay.
Where are those
So, by the way, before we go on stage, I hear you're going to New York on the day that I'm lifting.
Well, yeah, well, that's why I'm not. I told you I'm not. I won't be able to make your thing because I'll be in London
He's got a
Yeah,
actually the
tea
day you're
time
you're gonna
lifting.
no, you're
going
gonna be
on.
playing golf with my son.
No,
Yeah.
I thought you. Wait. I thought you were lifting on the 11th on Saturday.
I'm lifting on the 11th.
Okay, we're golfing on the 12th, the Sunday.
You're leaving. Oh, you're golfing on yeah, but you're gone on the 11th.
Yes, no, yeah, I'm in London. I am flying to London tomorrow at 9 p.m.
Oh, I
So
see.
that's why I'm glad we're getting this in tonight because I'm leaving at 9 p.m. so that way I can still coach Finley's soccer game at 4 o'clock. Anyway, I go to London Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, fly to New York, and then Sunday golfing with your son.
Was he
Um,
able to get you on Bethpage? Did they reopen it?
To be determined. Yeah, I think we're still waiting to get the final word back. But I had got us a tea time at Engineers Country Club or something like that, just in case the Bethpage doesn't work out.
Yeah, he says that place is fairly nice.
Okay, good. Yeah,
Yeah.
I've never played it, so
And
should be
uh,
good.
yeah, he said it's a really nice looking club and course.
Okay.
But all the courses out on the island are nice.
Oh,
Oh
they're
my
pretty
God.
good. Yeah, I've never played over there. So that'll be my first time in Manhattan or near
Yeah,
Manhattan.
push him for dinner at the house and use his bedroom if you need it. Well, they got five of
Oh my
them.
goodness. All right. We'll have to play put the round, put some wagers on the round. Bed and breakfast at your place if I beat you. That's funny.
Yeah,
Where?
I mean, what I was thinking, one of your first meetings on Monday,
9 a.m.
9
8:30,
a.m. So
8:30, 8:30.
Zach gets up, he's out the door at 5:45. He catches a 6 o'clock train into the city, which puts you there about 7.
Wow. Wow.
So that gives you time to actually check into a hotel and get breakfast and then go to your
Yeah.
meeting.
Yeah, exactly. No worries at all.
Which
Yeah, I have a hotel in Manhattan on
Yeah, which beats using an Uber. An Uber from there into the city is about 150 bucks. So
yeah, no, that's crazy. That is crazy. All right, quickly, do y'all know how to change the background on this? What happened to all those pre-loaded backgrounds? I only got my official like Navigator gas ones
no,
here.
you have a loaded background. I have nothing.
Yeah, y'all don't have anything either. All right, we'll
Yeah.
just go with that then. Boom.
It's good to
We
me.
Okay.
want to make you the superstar. Put Navigator up there.
Or I can no. I ain't repping Navigator right now. It's
We'll put
fine.
that as the thumbnail.
Well, in case you say anything bad, you
Right,
can't
exactly.
have
This
Navigator
is Randy
there.
Giveans speaking, not Navigator gas.
Yeah. All right. All right. 19 minutes in. Let's get ready for the title card. Welcome to Gen Pop TV episode 5. I'm your host, Sawyer Scott, accompanied by co-host Richard Flom. Today's guest is husband, father, multi-athlete, devout follower of Christ, executive vice president, and avid Captain America impersonator, Randy Giveans. Did I miss anything?
I thought that's pretty well rounded there. I think you got it all.
Yeah, didn't you run a marathon as Captain America?
Yes, yeah,
Yeah,
half marathon. But
half
yeah.
marathon. You had the pants on, the suit.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
absolutely.
So that was yeah, that was one of the more popular talking points that Richard bragged on you about, among other things, of course. So I thought I'd bring it up in the introduction as well. So tell us about your background, fitness and other.
Wait a second. Before one other point,
Let's do it.
Randy, are you still doing a lot of running at the track?
Yeah, I try to go out there at least twice a month, pretty much every other week.
Okay, so
So,
all the guys at Sigma, including that one there, not including me,
Oh yeah,
they all go. What track do you go to?
Memorial
And
Heights,
Track.
huh?
either the Memorial, the Cullen timing track, or Heights High School. So one of those two.
Yeah, I think
Okay.
he goes Memorial.
I go to
And
the Memorial Track.
yeah, and they go and they do it, but they're amateurs. You got to get them into that, Fartlek 220.
Please don't
You
embarrass
know?
me. I'm getting
Yeah,
back into
we
running.
do some like ladder 100, 200, 300, 200, 100, some kind of a shorter distance sprints nowadays.
What we did most recently was we went to the land bridge, where it kind of like spirals up.
Yep.
And we just hit, we were doing threshold stuff there. So we just sprint up it and jog down. We did that 3x3. So it was 3 rounds of that, just jog back down, come back up, about a 3 minute rest, do it all again 3 times, and then one more time 3 times. It was a doozy.
That's some serious heart rate action. Yeah, that's
Oh
good.
yeah. So because I'm getting ready for the November relay in Dallas. You're
That's
gonna be
right.
there, right?
No, I'm in London that weekend.
All right.
So yeah, unfortunately will not be there, but I'm planning on doing the Houston one in March.
I very strategically chose the easiest events, which are, to me, sled push and farmer carry. It's the
Farmer's
big
carry is
thing.
certainly the fastest. You look
Yes.
at the kind of average times on the 80 events, for sure. And then the sled push, yeah, it could be grueling, but for you, I think that's pretty easy.
Well, I'm not saying for me. I just didn't want to do sandbag lunges or wall balls.
Yeah, no, yeah. When I did the relay last March, and yeah, they had me do the burpee broad jumps and the wall balls, which was not pleasant, but
That's
anyway.
grueling. So yeah, tell us about your background, fitness or otherwise. How'd you
Sure.
get started and all that stuff?
Yeah, grew up in New Orleans, Louisiana, born and raised there, into a very fitness family. So my dad was the athletic director at our private Christian school in New Orleans. My mom was the women's or the girls' volleyball, basketball, softball coach. And then my brother, he's about 2.5 years, 3 school years older than me, playing a lot of sports. So growing up in that environment, there are pictures of me as a baby, just in the sack of volleyballs, in that little basket of balls. That was my childcare, was going to girls' high school sports practices while my mom was coaching. Anyway, so growing up all around that. So really in a family that faith was the of utmost importance. Family, right, was secondary. Family, friends, kind of, and then some kind of sporting event, athletics, fitness, was certainly top of mind. So I know growing up, after dinner, my parents would go for a walk, and my brother and I would be on our bikes for a while, and then we slowly evolved to be able to keep up with them on foot. So that was some early childhood memories. But so yeah, surrounded by athletics from an early age. Again, in high school, played 6 different sports. Again, small school, so was able to do that. Went to college, played 3 sports in college, Division II, Spring Hill College. It's in Mobile, Alabama. So again, I was never the king of any of the three, but ran cross country, played basketball, and then I walked on to the golf team my final 2 years there. So I was the biggest cross country runner, probably the skinniest basketball player, and average golfer. But it was a fun couple of years there.
I actually visited New Orleans just last year for the first time. What part did you live around?
So grew up in the East. So if you're familiar with where Six Flags used to be, Jazzland before that.
Mhm.
So if you're coming through central New Orleans, about 7, 8 miles east of there is New Orleans East.
We
But
were
we
we
got
got
about 8 feet of water during Katrina. So then the parents and everybody moved out to Slidell.
sheesh. I was at a Airbnb over on the Tulane campus, so I got to tour around that, take the trolley into the city and all that stuff. It was super
Oh
sick.
yeah. No, New Orleans is a great place to visit. I'm from there, so I can say this. Great place to visit, but not a great place to live, right? My parents still live there, so they love it. A
Yeah,
lot of extended family
very
loves it.
hazardous.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of going back. My wife's from there as well, so we go back every couple of months. It's great to visit. My uncle plays bass downtown. We're going to the Saints game and eating some good food. But after a few days, I'm very happy to get back to Houston. So it's fun. But yeah, I went to grad school there in Tulane. So after college in Mobile, Alabama, went back to New Orleans for a couple of years, got my MBA, and then moved over here to Houston. So
Where'd you go to school in New Orleans?
say
You
again.
said you said it was the you did the D2 in Mobile, but then you came back to New Orleans for school.
Yep. Well, yeah. Did went to a Division II school, Spring Hill College in
Oh,
Mobile,
that's what you
Alabama.
said. Yeah, that's right.
Uh, 4 years there, and then graduated, got my bachelor's undergrad, and then got my MBA at Tulane. Uh, 2 years for the full-time program before moving here to Houston.
What brought you to Houston?
Two things, Continental, both the airline physically on the plane, but also for a job to work with them. So I did a bunch of corporate finance work, buying aircraft from Boeing 2009, 10, 11. Then they merged with United. All those jobs went to Chicago. I did not want to move to Chicago. I know Richard's lived there for parts of his life, but for me, it's too cold, too expensive, too dense. So I like the South. So I joined a bank here in Houston.
I had my bachelor party in Chicago too. It was a funny one.
Again, another great place to visit. Taste of
Yeah,
Chicago in July,
yeah,
excellent.
yeah.
But similarly, after a few days, I'm ready to get
Not your
out of it.
settle down destination.
Yeah, exactly.
My big joke was when I was in Chicago, all my friends are none of us are like partiers or crazy guys, but we love to eat and we love to like see the place.
Sure.
So I just take Instagram stories of us like trying out like Portillo's or something like that. And I'd be like, oh, it's getting off the hook or stuff like that, where we're really just like downing Italian beef, you know, it's as
That's
crazy
pretty
as
funny.
it gets, but it's a fun
That's good.
place. Um, yeah. Um,
Yeah, I spent 7 years in Chicago. I
and this
did
was for the
I
PD,
did the
right?
complete reversal. I born in New York, moved to Miami, Florida, and lived in Miami for 29 years, and then left Miami and went straight to Chicago. And that was complete shock, not only on my body physically, but socially. It was like I went to a different world. So
Hmm.
um, from Miami to Chicago is different, you know.
That's tough. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Tough transition.
You know, Miami Beach to Lake Michigan. It's
Not the same.
that's the same.
But
Uh,
so what have some of the greatest challenges to your fitness journey been?
Um, yeah, I think two things: injuries, kind of setbacks around that, and then just consistency, right? I think you do anything for a while, and there's burnout, right? From a physical perspective, from a mental perspective. You see, or I've seen a lot of friends and even family members and others where fitness becomes a fad, right? And they're like, oh, I'm going all in for 6 months or a year, and then either life changes, circumstances change, whatever happens in their life, and then it just kind of fades away. So, and it's tough, right? I think I can understand that getting a new job, getting married, having kids. I have four daughters now, which we'll get into later, but so there's certainly been a lot of life changes over the last 20 years, give or take. I just turned 40. So I'm 40, I'm a man. But anyway, so over the last 20 plus years of working out where, it's gotten more challenging at times, just from a time management perspective as well, from a recovery perspective, all those things. But again, I think fitness has always been a lifestyle choice for me and something that's not something that I do, but really something that I enjoy. And it's just part of everyday life, not just something I feel like I have to do. Uh, Go exercise X amount of times a week to check a box.
well, that's how Randy and I met.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I had
elaborate.
just co- I had just come out of big cancer treatment and saw him do windshield wipers in the gym, and I went, God, that guy is big and strong looking, and I don't know if he's going to take this the wrong way. But I came up to him and I said, "How do you do that?" And I guess we just became friends after that. And I had always been involved in athletics, not to the extent that he has and organized. Um, but I was also a 3 day a week gym guy. And then when I met Randy, I became a 6 day a week gym guy. And it's been that way ever since.
Yeah, I think you've surpassed me now, and now it's a 4 to 5 for me. But yes, I definitely remember those days. First meeting Richard, and clearly a lifelong friend from it. So it's been fun.
Do you have a home gym? Do you ever have to use it? Or do you
I
mostly
do.
just lean on the mat?
Yep. So for years, worked out from home. All of 2020, most of 21, a little bit of 22.
Just during the
Um,
the shutdowns?
Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
And then now when we moved out here, moved up north a little bit, I don't go into work every day, right? So I go in maybe 3 days a week. So a lot of the times on the home days, I have a pull-up bar that I stuck into the beams in the ceiling. So I can do some weighted pull-ups and other things like that. I got a bench. I have some adjustable dumbbells. I've got a diamond bar. So I've got a decent amount of equipment to get a good workout in. But I think when you go into a gym, at least for me, it's kind of like, all right, I am here to work out. Whereas in the house, you walk into the garage, you're like, am I getting in my car to drive somewhere? Am I going to work out? Right? Mentally, it's just not the same.
Do you
So,
use rack dumbbells or do you use like plate loaded dumbbells?
yeah, on the dumbbells, it's the adjustable
Like the big block ones?
Gold's Gym ones, the like metal rings, and then you kind of just slide if you want 10 up to I think
Oh yeah,
70.
I see what you mean.
And
Yeah.
yeah. So
What
it's serviceable.
what kind of phases have you gone through fitness wise? Uh,
Yeah, that's a good question. So again, for college, it was all about athletic performance for sure. Running cross country, doing basketball, even golf. Then grad school, to help pay for grad school, I became a personal trainer. So for then it was just building muscle, right? More of kind of overall strength performance. And then after that. Moved here to Houston. I hadn't been running much just because kind of got burned out after 4 years of cross country in college. But then started running again, doing a bunch of half marathons, as Richard was alluding to. So that was became really the focus of exercise for me was running. So did that for probably like 3 or 4 years, and then I found out about these decathlons, which is a mix of running and weights, and the NFL Combine, the Olympic decathlon, the weight room, kind of all mixed in one. So that was a perfect balance for me because I could still bench press and do pull-ups and do power things, but also do a lot of running, right? Although the runs were much shorter distance. Those runs were 800 meters, 400 meters, 40-yard dash, right? The shuttle, versus a 5K, 10K, half marathon, marathon. So it went from long distance training to shorter distance, kind of higher intensity performance training. So did that for 9 or 10 years, basically. They had
are
a
you
few
talking
out.
about the D10?
Yeah, the D10
Okay,
decathlon.
got
Yep.
it.
So they had 1 or 2 years off there for COVID. And then but since then, still been doing kind of the hybrid athlete. I think it's all that term is now in vogue over the last few
It's
years. But
super in.
yeah, no, I think since 2014, that's what I wanted to be and how I trained for, right?
Mhm.
I was trying to bench 300 pounds, but still run a sub 3 hour marathon,
Oh,
right?
so you were
Uh,
in the golden, like not the golden age, but like I mean, 2014 is like the stone age of hybrid athletes. Like
Yeah,
that's when
no,
Alex
there
Viada
was
was,
not many of me, right? I
yeah.
think, and I just didn't have a YouTube and an Instagram following or anything, but I don't think I had Instagram anyway. But yeah, I had my weightlifting buddies, and
Mhm.
then Richard knows like Saturday morning bench guys and like the
Yeah.
big powerlifting heavy hitter guys. And then I also had like a running crew that never touched weights, right? So I was kind of bouncing between both.
Outrun the lifters, outlift the runners.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Do you
Did
know
both.
Alex Viada? Did you follow his like big methodology back then? Is that how you found out about it or?
No, it was just I loved both, right? I loved distance
Okay.
running, and I loved weights. And then
Yeah.
the decathlon kind of required
You
not
can be good at
distance running,
both.
but it certainly required a lot of running and track workouts. So that's kind of how I fell into that. And that's kind of how I've been training ever since, right? I don't want to just be a runner weighing 150 pounds and just running 5, 10, 20 miles, whenever. But I also don't want to be a bodybuilder, big lifter guy weighing 220 that can't swing a golf club or can't go run a 5K in under 30 minutes, right? So I've been trying to do both. And now, as we alluded to briefly there, High Rocks has come out. And so I dabbled in that. I did the relay race. Just some buddies asked me to join them on that like a month prior. So did that in March. I'll probably do the doubles at some point in the next few months and then maybe eventually do the whole thing. So we'll see.
Yeah,
What
but
got you
you
into high
forgot
rock?
to mention that at least twice a year, you pull the old tennis game out of the bag and go out there and win quite
Yeah, yeah,
handily.
yeah. Well, yeah, I try to play a lot of sports, right? Golf. At one point I was like a two handicap. Now I'm like a seven or eight. Tennis, play that. Pickleball. Gotten into some tournaments and playing some pickleball. Played in a flag football tournament randomly about a month ago. Men's softball leagues, basketball. So still try to
Kickball.
stay. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah,
Try to
yeah, yeah.
stay do it a little bit of everything instead of just kind of a one sport athlete.
So you were a high roxer, but were you ever a CrossFitter? Was that ever a
Um,
phase of yours?
I did a lot of WODs. I love the kind of Metcon, metabolic conditioning, AMRAPs, EMOMs. I like the concept of it. I just did not did not want to do overhead snatches or like overhead squats or some of these like real heavy lifts.
Sure.
One, I was very inexperienced at it, so I would have had to really train a lot to snatch 225 pounds, right, or anything like that. And then two, yeah, just the risk reward. I was like, just throwing weight over my head and doing all these other things. I'd rather do a traditional bodybuilding workouts, kind of splits, and then running.
And don't forget your biking.
Biking, yeah, doing to
Yeah.
the MS 150 and spinning and long distance biking. So I mix that in as well. But I've done Murph a handful of times. So I like some of the specific WODs, but again, doing certain Olympic lifts kind of steered me away from getting really hot and heavy on CrossFit.
What got you into high rocks?
Buddy who had just joined F45 or one of those gyms.
Sure.
This was probably like he joined kind of late 2024 now. So yeah, almost a year ago. And he was going like 5 days a week. It was his first time really getting into fitness. And he said, "Hey, they're really hyping up this High Rocks event, and it's coming to Houston." I had never heard of it, frankly, before this, and this was in February or so. Um, and I said, "When is it?" He said, "Oh, it's middle of March, and we need you." And I said, "All right, yeah, what does it entail?" And then I started getting into it and researching it, and I said, "Oh, this looks right up my alley. Sounds like a lot of fun." So I said, "Yeah, I'll do whatever you need me to do." He said, "Good, burpee broad jumps and wall balls." I said, "Okay." So that's how I first heard about High Rocks.
So you just jumped right into it. It's funny.
Yep, yep. And I knew it wasn't going to be too crazy doing the relay. All right, I was like, "All right, I'm going to run
Yeah.
1,000 meters." 3.5 minutes, 4 minutes, whatever it's going to be. And then do a couple minutes of burpee broad jumps. Then I'll have about 15, 20, 30 minutes of hanging out while the other three guys compete. And then do another 5, 7, 10 minutes of exercise. So it was fun.
Which, speaking of high rocks and the Met, I don't know if you know who Belle McFarlane is. Have you met her before?
Um,
She's
yes,
yes.
the high rocks like guru. Like when
Yeah.
I knew of her and I would see her like flying on the treadmill, doing these crazy like skier. This is again before I knew what high rocks was. Doing these like skier things. She's like doing farmers walks around. So these very like high intensity and like very structured programming. And I was like, wow, that girl's getting after it. And then when I found out about what high rocks was, the next time I saw her, I said, "Hey, have you heard of High Rocks? It seems like your workouts are like perfect for High Rocks training." And she kind of laughed, and I was like, she's like, "Yeah, I've been competing in that for a few years now. I'm going to Worlds in July in Chicago." Or it's like, "Oh, okay, so you have heard of
Okay.
High Rocks, anyway." But yeah, so I've known her before I knew she was in High Rocks, and I can see why she's been crushing it.
Was she?
She's that real lean lady that pushes like 6 plates on the sled
Yeah,
uh,
yeah.
really
She's
fast.
yeah. She
Yeah.
it was weird because like I had chatted her up before and she had told me that she was a high roxer and like I had just been like friendly with her in passing. And then like fast forward maybe 4 months at my new place, and Eric was like, "Hey, doesn't that girl go to the Met?" And we were looking at the TV, and it was her from the 2023 Worlds, and I'm like, "She's a world level high roxer." And so I
Wow.
reached out, and I'm like, "This is you?" She's like, "Yeah." But
That's pretty good.
she actually just like yesterday or the day before won gold at the Toronto Pro Open. So that's pretty cool too.
In High Rocks.
Yeah.
Wow. All right. Well,
Yep.
there you go.
So she's got that to look for. I want to get her on the pod maybe next weekend. We were chatting about it, which would be
That's
fun. But
solid. That's real solid.
yeah, but so we got a good lineup at the Met.
That's pretty
It'll be
good.
fun.
We'll have to get a little Met relay. I'd be up for that.
Yeah, that would actually be a good idea. Talk to what's his name, Tom.
Thomas. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
Thomas. Talk to him about that. See what he can get going.
That'd
Um,
be epic.
what have been some of the most rewarding aspects of your fitness journey?
Oh, yeah, I think in life, I'm very goal driven. I think setting a goal and achieving it is something that pushes me. Um, but I think some of the better accomplishments would be the Houston Marathon. This is about 10 years ago now. I really wanted to qualify for Boston, which was at 3:05 pace, or 3:05, 3 hours and 5 minutes. Anyway, so I ran a bunch of half marathons in prep for that. I did one marathon about a year prior, and it was like 3:20, 3:25. So I knew I had a minute a mile to kind of cut off to really get in there. Anyway, so ran the Houston Marathon, and I went out with the 3 hour pacers. And I said, all right, if I'm gonna go for 3:05, might as well try to break 3 hours, an extra 5 minutes. So I ran the first half in like 1:29:55. It's like right on it, perfect. So it was like a little group of us with a 3 hour little pace guy. Anyway, stayed with him till about mile 21. Then I started cramping. It's like, this stinks. And he keeps going, right? And the four, five, six people that were left in the group. I'm still on the side of the road stretching, start running again, catch him like 2 miles later. So mile maybe 22, 23. By the time I catch him, start like overheating, cramping again. So he gets away from me again. And then this is with like 2, maybe 3 miles to go. So at that point, I was like, all right, do I just kind of shut this down? Do I just slow down and still break 3:05, but not quite break three? And I said, you know what? I'm here in Houston. I had, friends around supporting and cheering me on. I know there's a great medical team at the end of this race that if I can just get there, they'll take care of me. And I didn't want to have to try it again in, Beaumont or San Antonio or, wherever else the next couple marathons would be. So I said, all right, I'm just going for it. So the last 2.5, 3 miles, I'm like cramping up, I'm shedding tears. It's just like the most painful experience, 20 minutes of my life. Make the final turn on the convention center, right there to finish, and I see the guy with his balloons or his balloon. Anyway, and I say, oh, there's the 3 hour pacer. So I'm just like limping or gimping to him, reach him. We make one final turn. I see the clock. It says 2:59:45. And I said, oh my goodness. So I'm just gunning down the street and finish, pass out at the end. They take me to the medical tent. They stick an IV in me. They stick oxygen in me. They take my temperature. I'm 104 degrees. It's a whole thing. But ended up finishing in 2:59:53. So 7 seconds under 3 hours. But I paid for it, right? It was like, yeah, there was thanks. There was probably a month where I was limping walking, right? I wrecked myself. But anyway, but that was something that looking back on, I was like, all right, I trained really hard, I really focused, but it was also like a spiritual experience for me, right? I think the Lord taught me a lot through that. It said, hey, you see how much of a pursuit you had for that 3 hour marathon and how nothing was going to hold you back and how no matter how you felt, you knew that you just had to keep going and get to that. That's how you should pursue me, right? And it's like, oh, yeah, I should. Yeah, right. It was kind of a good spiritual growth story for my life. But anyway, so from a physical accomplishment perspective, the sub 3 hour marathon was great. The D10, I won here in Houston. I got second twice in the New York one. So those are some pretty fun accomplishments. But really, it's just been an enjoyable ride, right? Even though the competitions are fun and the performance is great, but I think the journey is just as good as those destinations, right? And I think everyone wants to win an Olympic gold medal, right? If you ask anyone on the street, hey, do you want to win an Olympic gold medal? Yeah, of course. Do you want to put in, at the Olympic level? 40 hours a week to train to get there and all the discipline and the exercise and the diet. No, no, no one's willing, and very few people are able to do that. But I think realizing that, all right, the journey is just as important as a lot of those other things. It's been fun.
Good. Yeah, I didn't know about the sub three one. That's crazy. That's like a mini David Goggins story.
Well,
Yeah,
wait a
yeah, yeah.
second. Yeah, I mean, I watched him run in the D10, run a what was it, a 52-second quarter and a 2:12 half mile
Yeah.
in back-to-back races. Well, they were separated by maybe a couple hours, but you were totally busy in the middle of all of that. And I also watched you do the marathon thing with a torn hamstring and ran the last lap of the half mile, and he looked like the mummy, and still finished it in like 2:30, I think. Yeah,
Mm.
it was
Mm.
pretty amazing because I was standing there at the finish line, and he dove into the infield grass and just laid there and said, "Do you have anything that you can rub on my leg? Because it's it's really bad."
That was messy. Yeah, yeah.
So I learned a lot from watching him, in terms of, you know, pushing yourself to limits that don't, in other words, don't put limitations on what you think you can do. Just go out and do it and see
Mm.
what God limits you to. You never know.
Good.
So we've gone over your big
I found my Captain America. Me and Richard
Oh,
Florida
there you go. That was
when he was beefier.
They kidnapped me at MD Anderson. Um, I had pneumonia the week before the marathon. If you saw that picture, I had a line in me. They were doing a charity thing for the kids at MD Anderson, dressed as Iron Man uh, and
Captain America.
Captain
Yeah.
America.
Yeah.
And then they uh, they came up to my floor into the room and kidnapped me. And here's these two massive guys dragging me out of the room with a line in me, and the nurses are all going, "Ooh." It was great.
Who's the second guy?
Oh, the other one, Nate Sims. He was competing in the decathlon as well.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
Nate
see.
was Nate was at the birthday party.
Yes, yep. He was the Iron Man there.
Did I talk to him? Who because I only talked to a handful of people at the party. I didn't get around fully. I talked to some of the softball people.
Ah, okay, yes,
Is he a part of
yes.
that?
Yeah, you met him. He was sitting to my left. I think you met him, but yeah, I'm not sure because you were kind of to my right anyway. Yeah.
Okay, that's
Good
fine.
dude.
So we've gone over fitness achievements. Let's talk about life achievements. Tell us about those
Okay.
outside of fitness.
Yeah, I think it's been fun being married. I got married 11 years ago, so it's been great. Just celebrated our 11th anniversary. Had four kids, a 6-year-old, 4-year-old, 2-year-old, and a newborn. So we're 10 months old now, but that's been fun. So I think the life achievements of that has been really learning a lot about, being a husband, being a father. They say when you get married, half your selfishness gets wiped away, and then when you have kids, the rest does, right? And that is a work in progress, but I can see it playing out in my life. Really, devoting more time and energy and resources to my wife and kids and less to me. So it's been fun. It's been a really great ride. Outside of that, work now, executive vice president for a LPG shipping company. We're headquartered in London, but we have an office here in the US. So I run our North American business development as well as our investor relations. We're publicly traded. Navigator Gas, ticker NVGS. So that's been great, and just having the kind of work-life balance there of being this kind of corporate executive vice president and also obviously more importantly, a husband and a father, but still trying to compete and stay fit and balancing it all. It's been difficult at times, but it's been a lot of fun. I think I wouldn't trade any of it for anything. So it's been a good mix, and gives me a lot of joy throughout the days. So it's been fun.
How do you
And
balance it all?
That's a good question. I think priorities, right? I think when I'm working, I'm working. But then when I'm home, I'm home, right? So it's not like, I'm working all afternoons and evenings and weekends and but during the workday, unless there's obviously an emergency or something that my family really needs me. Look, I'm committed to getting this work done during these work hours, and then, but when I'm home and with my family, I'm committed to my family and I'm home, right? So trying not to blend the two and always being on my phone and stuff like that. And then in terms of exercising, scheduling it. So literally on my calendar, I have at least 4 of the 5 weekdays, and then usually Saturday morning, with the family, we'll do like a family workout. Sundays are rest days, but so 4 of the 5 weekdays, and there's always a little bit of flexibility there, knowing that one of the days is just going to get crazy. And then on the Saturday morning, so I can get 5 good workouts in a week. But it's scheduled because, yeah, if you're just like, oh, I'll work out if I have time, you'll never have time, right? Or I'll work out when I find an hour. You'll never find an hour, right? So literally, it is scheduled in different blocks of time throughout the day. Sometimes it's in the morning, sometimes it's during lunch, sometimes it's 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Occasionally, it's at 8 p.m. after I put the kids to bed. Then I go out and do my running or my exercise. So it's just finding time, but also being flexible with it, right? Ask Randy pre-marriage, so 11, 12 years ago, like I am getting this 65-minute workout in no matter what, right? Now it's yeah, I have an hour scheduled, but it might end up being 40 minutes, right? Or before it was, oh, if I can't get, 12 different sets of 3 different movements, 4 sets each, it doesn't even count as a workout, so why bother? Now I'm like, all right, if I can do 20 minutes and do 4 rounds of 5 minute little superset things. Cool. Right. So being more flexible with the workouts and not saying, all right, I have to do this at this time. So that's been a good way to mix it all in.
Have you regressed that much by changing it?
No. And that's one thing. So have you heard of like Mike Mincer with like
Yeah.
these one
It's
rep,
single
one
set stuff. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. And so I tried that for a little bit, and I don't think I lost much. I may have even gained some because I gave myself more recovery and I really went intense on those few reps that I was doing. But I think I just couldn't get over the mental hurdle. That was just like, well, I like working out, right? I like doing 12, 15, 20 sets. I like spending 50, 60 minutes in the gym.
Yeah.
So even if I could do it all in 12 minutes, I don't want to.
Yeah.
I enjoy the stress relief. I enjoy the camaraderie and people at the gym. And so it was a mixture. But I certainly have been more flexible in that, okay, if I don't hit all 5 muscle groups once or twice a week this week with some kind of super setting, I can still get it all done and not lose anything. Right. So, and realizing that has taken a lot of stress off. Because
Sure.
before it was like, oh, well, I have to hit chest and tries, back and bis, legs and shoulders, take a rest day, then do some arms, and the next day do shoulders and abs, and then no, if you're 80% there, 70% there, you've probably done enough. And I think for me, it's more been a risk of overtraining than undertraining.
And in the same vein as like the Mike Mentor stuff, the newest, most in vogue thing that I'm seeing a lot with people is minimum effective dose. So, um, there's like what is it called? The effective sets and reps model, where
Mm,
like 6 to 8-ish is usually good for like a week of training and stuff like that, depending on your set and rep scheme. Anything above that is good sometimes for like growth, but for
mm.
the most time, like if usually when you sit in like the 6 to 8 rep range or set range for each like major muscle group, you'll usually be able to hold on to or improve on your each body part or muscle group, which
Wow.
is also very
Okay.
helpful.
Yeah, I need to look further into that because I've certainly done some effective reps. It's kind of like Athlean X and Jeff
Okay.
Cavalier and these guys, and it's like, all right, well, if you're doing 4 sets of 12, how many of those are really effective? Maybe your last two or three of
Yeah.
each. So you're really doing 8 to 12
'Cause that's a lot of volume.
reps that matter. Yeah, exactly. So he's like, well, let's just cut to the chase. So do your set of 10. 30 seconds later, do a set of six. 30 seconds later, try to do five. 30 seconds
Yeah.
later, you can only do three. 30 seconds later, if you can only do one. 30 seconds later, you do another one. You just got your 12, 15 effective reps
Yeah.
by grinding out those
And that's
last.
a stimulus right there.
Yes. So
That's an
I've
effective
been
stimulus
doing
with way
some
less
of that.
time.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So I've been enjoying that. I've been doing some of those, especially like if I'm really crunched for time, or at the very end of the workout, I'll do one of those kind of little effective rep hybrids. But it's been good. I think another way in terms of the work-life balance is just incorporating the family into the workouts, right? So especially if I'm working out in the garage, they're in there playing around with me, and I'll put them on the bar and say, "All right, do your reps," and then, "All right, Daddy's turn," then I'll go knock out mine, and or when it comes to running, right, just having them. So I think a lot of my most recent runs have been, this is my view of just kind of chasing my daughter on her bike, pushing a stroller kind of deal. So that's been the more frequent running. I haven't run anything of meaningful distance by myself in a while, right? Like last night, I did a 5K. I literally pushed my 2-year-old to CVS to pick up some pictures that my wife printed, and then ran back home. So that was the 5K run. Was a stroller, a mile and a half to CVS, grab the pictures, and a mile and a half pushing the stroller back. So
Perfect.
you can get the workouts in with some helpers.
Some encouragers. And what sort of life are they going to lead as they grow up with a dad like that, right?
Yeah, no, it's been fun already. Like
It's going to be so easy.
yeah, my 4-year-old today, we were eating, I grilled out some burgers this afternoon after church and just hanging out. And I say, "Hey, babe, you gotta make sure you eat your burgers." And my 4-year-old goes, "That's right, protein. Look at my muscles." And she's like 4 years old, just saying protein. Check out my muscles. So that's been fun.
Yeah, and he also has a climbing wall on the side of his garage with
Oh,
that,
yeah.
that the kids have been using for what, 3 years now? It's
Yeah,
been,
yeah, yeah. When Finley was 3, so yeah, that's about 3 years now, exactly.
yeah, the little one, he put the climbing wall up, the little one, he looked up and she was up walking around on the roof. I was like,
Uh,
What what does your diet look like these days?
it's a good question. So. I've never, even when so I did one physique show back in, what year was that, 2013 or something. And that's the only time, and I even then didn't really like portion out meals and saying, okay, is this 6 ounces of chicken or four or eight? Is this a half a cup of rice or a full cup or, so never got that into the details of the diet. But macros have certainly been, an important part. I say, all right, over the course of a week, right? Maybe I don't do it on a daily basis, but over the course of the week, how many grams of protein am I consuming? How many grams of fats? How many, grams of carbs in a ballpark range? I don't know the exact number, right? People ask me that a lot. How many calories do you eat a day? I don't know exactly. But if I'm heavy D10 training or heavy high rocks training, it's probably 5,000 calories, right? If I'm trying to lean out some, it's probably closer to 2,000, maybe 2,500. Just kind of a average around 3,000, 3,500 maybe. Right, incorporating the workouts and my metabolic rates and how much calories I just burn just from sitting down. Um, but yes, hardly much sugar, although I go to these kids' birthday parties all the time now. I have 4 kids, they have a lot of friends, so I'll have a bite of cake, right? Cool. I'll have a bite of ice cream. So I'm not like this, oh, you can never have a drop of sugar, by any means. But very little fried food, no alcohol. So really it's higher protein, higher carbs, but I'm not afraid to eat an entire pizza from Mod Pizza or something, as Richard knows. It's one of my favorite spots. Or go to DeMassie's and just dominate the buffet. So
Yeah, the
it's
pizza with
really,
all the meat on
yeah,
it.
exactly, exactly. It's
So
really all the I feel like my grandfather would always tell us, eat like a king at breakfast, a prince at lunch, and a pauper at dinner. So you want to front load your day with calories. No one needs a big meal at 9 p.m. What kind of energy are you going to be using at 9 p.m., right? So I try to always eat a very big breakfast. I usually eat two breakfasts, one with the kids and then maybe another one an hour or two later. Um, Pretty sizable lunch, especially right around the workouts, either workout at noon or workout at 3:34, whenever. Um, Sizable lunch, but then my dinners are pretty lean, right? I'll eat whatever my family's eating, but maybe just a very small portion of the carb. So a lot of the meat, a lot of the veggies, maybe a little bit of the sweet potatoes or the brown rice or whatever. So my wife's pretty healthy as well, so that helps in terms of diet. But again, if I go out to a Mexican restaurant, I'm not asking for grilled chicken and corn tortillas, right? I'll have a feast, but anyway, so all in moderation, I guess.
so you do like Demasi's?
Oh, yeah, it's
Yeah.
it's it's arguably our family's favorite restaurant, right?
Okay.
Kids eat free certain nights. It's all you can eat. The quality is very good. My kids love lamb and cauliflower and hummus. Not
Yep.
many 6, 4, and 2-year-olds, do that. So yeah, we go there at least twice a month.
My wife gives me a lot of grief for liking that because she's, her family's Syrian, and so
Okay.
she's like, that is inauthentic.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
it is
Yeah.
my guilty pleasure. But I think it's nice. I like it a lot.
Yeah.
Like I think that they've got a lot of good quality stuff. I think that even like I don't know if you had like the rose water or anything like that.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah,
My
big
my
fan.
my girls love it as well. We mix a little bit of tea, a little bit of rose water, a little ice, and yeah, they love it.
Have you had Fadi's?
Yep, all the Mediterraneans, Fadi's, Aladdin,
Yeah.
all of them. But Damascus is the only all-you-can-eat one. So that's the Mediterranean buffet of choice.
And that's the only one by you.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
that's
Fadi's, do they have an all-you-can-eat one?
yeah. No,
Okay, okay.
no. But I have you been to the Beach Nut one in Ireland?
Yes, is that the one by the NRG Stadium?
Uh,
Or
that's
might
kind of
that
close
might
to
be a
it. Yeah,
different one. Okay, yeah.
yeah,
Been the
um,
one on Richmond and Sage, been the one in Tomball, the
yeah,
Woodlands, the one here in Umball, the one down.
yeah,
I think I've been to all the Demassies.
yeah. It's a good spot. Um,
Agreed.
yeah, big fan of it. Uh, we gotta have our next Richard birthday at a Fadi's or a Demasi's.
Count me in.
But what advice do you have for people that have not had sporty parents, as much of a sport related upbringing as you? What would you tell them if they're also EVPs or maybe even like other high performing heavy hitters who are trying to start their fitness journey now?
Hmm. Yeah, I think a few things. Anywhere along the way, right? It's never too late to start one, and it's really comparison, right? Like I'm never gonna be Hunter McIntyre, right?
Yeah.
Or the world's or Rich Froning, or whoever you want to see. And I'm okay with that, right? 10 years ago, I probably wanted to be, but now I'm like, that's okay. So it's not a competition against others. It's really just against yourself and just a bettering your own life and your own lifestyle and you're especially being an example for your kids and others. So really it's just starting somewhere, right? People underestimate or people overestimate rather what they can change in a month. Like, oh, my 20-year high school reunions in a month. I better get serious about this, right? Not much is going to change in a month. But people underestimate what they can do or what they can change in a year, right? So if you say, all right, I'm going to give myself a year and I want to be healthier, I want to eat better, I want to be stronger, I want to be faster, I want to whatever it may be, and you give yourself a year time frame, a lot can change, right? So having small, gradual steps. Don't go running a marathon tomorrow if you haven't been running at all in the last 10 years, right? And it doesn't have to be 5 days a week. It doesn't have to be 6 days a week like Richard Flom. But if it's 2 days a week, if it's 20 minutes, right? And that's another thing. It doesn't have to be an hour. I think people get hung up in this oh, I don't have an hour to work out. You don't need an hour to work out, right? It can be talk to Mike Mintzner and his 4 sets of, 5 effective reps or whatever we were talking about earlier. You can do a lot in a little. So I think just starting small, and yeah, not putting too much pressure on it. I think you gotta have fun with it, whatever it may be, if you're competing or not, right? I think if it's something that you're not enjoying, you're gonna get burned out and not really want to do it. So, I have another picture here. Let's see. So in 2013, I ran 13 half marathons, all across the nation, bouncing around, and I would dress up as a
Is that
different
Rambo?
Rambo, yep,
Yep.
Rambo down there. And so I would dress up as a different costume in each place. So, I was a Texas Rangers baseball player in Dallas. I was a Secret Service agent in Washington, D.C. Rocky, a cowboy, Elvis in Vegas, Davy Crockett in San
Rocky.
Antonio.
There you go.
Karate Kid, wearing my old Spring Hill Badgers cross country uniform. Michael Jordan dribbling a basketball in Chicago, the Chicago Half Marathon. San Diego as a lifeguard. The Galveston one here in Texas as Santa there. So anyway, having fun with it, right? I wasn't super like, okay, every race has to be a world record and has to. It's like, no, enjoy what you're doing. Enjoy the camaraderie and people being out there, and you're out there with them, and um, you know, it, make it a priority, make it part of your lifestyle. But also on the other extreme, I would caution myself as a younger man and others that you can't make it your identity either, right? You can't make it all about that your life revolves around it because an injury is going to happen. You're gonna, you're not gonna win this competition that you're shooting for or whatever it may be, and then you're just crushed, right? So to avoid that, take your pressure off, enjoy the ride. I think one of my top five verses of the Bible is 1 Timothy 4:8, where it says physical training is of some value, right? It's good. You should physically train. You should exercise. You should do these things, right? But spiritual training is of that much more value because it's here for the life now and the life to come. So as much as I love fitness and want to compete and want to do my best and do all these things, I also know, okay, my spiritual walk's a lot more important. My family's a lot more important. My friends are a lot more important, right? So, yeah, fitness is fun and working out and training and competing and all that is good things. And there's nothing wrong with it by any means, but it shouldn't be the end all be all either.
Big picture,
Yeah, exactly.
right?
Exactly. And
I'm,
then,
I'm taking notes.
yeah, one of the best analogies and or the illustrations, I think is a better term for it, that I've heard about life. This was probably 20 years ago now. I don't know, at least 15 years ago. It was, all right, life is really just a juggling act, right? And you see these clowns juggling five, six, seven balls. And you're juggling a lot of different things. You're juggling your family, you're juggling your faith, your fitness, your finances, your work, all these things, friends, and all of them are rubber balls except for one is a glass ball, right? And that's your faith, right? And your walk with the Lord. And that's the one you really need to cherish, right? The family is also one you really need to cherish. The finances one, that's going to ebb and flow. Your fitness levels, that's going to ebb and flow. A job, that's going to ebb and flow. A lot of these are, not as important, whereas you really focus on the faith and the family and the other balls, you might drop one, who cares, right? It bounces back. So, protect the ones that are fragile, right? And the important ones rather. So I've been trying to do that as well.
You do a good job.
No, appreciate you, Richard.
Yeah, I appreciate you.
It's our
Oh,
new
by the way,
project.
Sawyer's got me cut back to 5 days a week.
Okay, good. Yeah, you
I'm
got to
cracking
taper
the
in. You
whip.
got this competition coming up. Yeah, you don't run a
Oh, no,
bunch of.
no, he has me cut back before that.
Okay, well, even so, yeah, I think like you and like me, I think we're more at the risk of overtraining because we really enjoy it than undertraining. So I think few people, what's the percentage? I don't know, 20, 30% probably need to be pulled back. Whereas, yeah, 70, 80% need to say, you should work out a little more, right? Or exercise a little more. I think the overtraining is certainly a risk.
Oh, that's my mentality, but he's been really good about it.
Good.
And I still have Stephanie working with me.
Sure.
So
That's good.
um, you know, I get good advice. I don't see you as much as I used to. You used to give me great advice.
Yeah. Well, yeah,
But
hope to see you more often here soon.
yeah, but by the way, don't discount the fact that you can't attain greatness. You just have to get old enough, then you win by attrition. So it's
Yeah,
It's easy for you to
exactly.
say as a trendsetter. By the time Randy's 80, he's gonna he's gonna have to claw his way through the master 5, 6. By the time I'm 80, I'm gonna be competing with cyborgs.
Oh my. That's true.
yeah,
But a lot
it's
of time till then.
yeah. But I say, for an aside, as I've known you now for what is it, 10, 11 years?
Yep. 2015.
And we've been pretty close. And you've always been there for me. And I'm here in Houston only because MD Anderson's here.
Sure.
And Randy Giveans. You made Houston and MD Anderson livable.
Mm,
And
appreciate
you always have been, from my standpoint, very forthcoming, and I want to say there's a warmth about you in terms of the family. And it's an honor to be accepted like as part of your family because you did accept me that way.
Oh,
And it
absolutely.
was quite evident on my 80th birthday when, you know, 12 of your best friends showed up to salute me. It was really
Oh
good.
yeah. Yeah. To the girls, your Grandpa Richard, for sure. So
Yeah.
it's an honor having you as part of the family.
I guess I never really asked what made Houston so settlable, so livable compared to New Orleans and Chicago and all that.
But yeah, for me, when I hype up Houston, I'm like the ambassador of Houston to people who don't live here. It's like, oh, Houston's great. It's the third or fourth largest city in America, soon to be third, right? It's going to eclipse Chicago. New York's one, LA's two,
Is
Chicago.
that true?
Yeah, it's the
Really?
fourth largest city, and
Okay.
it's growing faster than Chicago. Chicago's shrinking, right?
Okay.
So probably in the next couple of years.
So the bayou's gonna overshadow the river in the next 10 years.
Exactly.
It's gonna be a big
Buffalo
hub.
Bayou over the
We'll
Chicago
send
River.
giant ships through that little canal.
Exactly. So yeah, it's big city, so that means it has everything, right? It's got all the sports teams and it's got the medical center and it's got museum districts and it's got everything you need. Super multicultural. I think there was some stat that was 112 different nationalities represented in Houston, right? It's very conservative, right? Relative, especially Texas in general, but even Houston, even for being a massive city, still conservative. I feel it's still safe. No state income taxes in Texas. You got oil and gas and energy, capital of the world here in Houston. Very easy to navigate. Obviously, there's traffic, which is not a pro for Houston, but there's two very big airports, so you can get pretty much anywhere you need to go pretty quickly. So I'm a big fan of Houston, Texas. Born and raised in New Orleans, so I'm from New Orleans. I tell people that all the time. But all my kids are
You're used to
Houston.
the third coast vibe,
Yeah, exactly,
regardless.
exactly.
Yeah.
I'm a fan of Houston for sure.
Yeah. I mean, Houston, I've come to really like Houston. I didn't like it when I first got here, but once you get to know it, and the other thing I found is that the general population is very sort of a mix of Southern Midwestern. Everybody's friendly. You know,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, it's easy to make friends. It's easy to meet people. It's it's just, and it's got all the accoutrement. You got good restaurants. You've got Yeah, anything you want.
For sure.
So,
There's a lots of folds that people can welcome you into. Like you got friends at the JCC, so you get, Jewish community. You get, I was speaking Arabic to some friends, and they'll like take you. They'll be like, "Oh, meet my family. Let's go eat together and stuff like that." There's
Nice.
places for that too. You don't always get that in all other walks of life, other cities, but
And the two downsides are pretty manageable in my book. One is traffic.
infrastructure,
Yeah, with traffic, it's like, yeah,
traffic, yeah,
yeah,
don't drive between 7 and 9 and
yeah,
4 and 6, right?
yeah.
It's like
but you
go to
have
work
that,
early or go to late. Yeah.
So
you
don't
have
have
that in
over
any
50% of jobs.
Yeah.
in any major metropolitan area. I've made a couple of trips to New York this year where my son lives,
Oh,
and
that's the worst. Yeah.
I mean, what's amazing is the city traffic is incredible. I spent one day when it was raining, uh, going 10 blocks in the city trying to get over the Williamsburg Bridge to get to LaGuardia. It was
Yep.
just,
Yep.
light after light and people blocking intersections and, that kind of thing. So actually Houston looks sane compared to that. Uh,
Sure.
yeah.
And then the other thing is the heat, right? But I'm from New Orleans, so I am used to heat and humidity. I am fine playing golf when it's 100 degrees outside and doing whatever because everyone complains in August when it's 100 degrees. But when it's 60 degrees in January and you're out there playing golf or running or doing whatever, right? Not many people are complaining. So it's like, all right, yeah, it's gonna be hot from May to September, even early into October, as we've experienced this last week. But when it's, yeah, like I said, 65 in January and you're doing whatever you want to do outside, it's pretty nice.
But we've also gone across the street to the park and thrown snowballs.
Yeah, exactly. So you can get a little taste of snow every like 5 or 6 years, so it's a good spot.
Good. You have any parting words?
Um, yeah, I think we covered a lot. Appreciate kind of inviting me into this, and yeah, I think it's really been cool having you at the Met and seeing the wealth of knowledge that you've brought to that. I know Richard has certainly capitalized on that, and seeing the new heights he's been getting to in his fitness endeavors has been awesome. Especially seeing him from a hospital bed to now setting world records, pretty inspiring for everyone who's around. So appreciate both of y'all for having me on, and yeah, I think it's been a fun conversation and hopefully can encourage others and shed some light and my at least with my experiences that fitness is a journey and enjoy the ride.
Well, I'll tell you what, have a great trip to London. Say hi to the family for me.
I'll do
Uh,
it.
I miss them. And don't beat up on my kid on the golf course too bad.
All right, yeah, yeah, it'll be a fun match.
Each Houstonian gets a +10 strength buff whenever they go to a northern state. So you'll be playing at an advantage no matter what.
There we go. I like it. I like it.
Thanks so much, Randy. We really appreciate it.
Great to see y'all. God bless you. Thank you.
All
Thank you.
right, take care.